Welcome back to the Screen Crush Break Room. I'm Ryan Airy, and this is all of the Easter eggs, references, and little things that you might have missed in the trailer for The Flash. There is so much to unpack in this trailer, even though it is just a tiny scrap of footage like Ezra Miller warned us. This movie is going to drastically reconfigure the DC TV and movie universe. It's like Loki, Spider-Verse, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness all in one. We're going to see Barry fracture the multiverse, travel through time, and meet Michael frickin' Keaton's Batman. But let's get into those Easter eggs. We open in a fog just outside of Wayne Manor. Now this is the Wayne Manor from the 1989 Tim Burton Batman films. The gate is the same, as are these dragon guardians and the towers of the manor. And some of you might be thinking, how can this be? Don't Ezra Miller and Michael Keaton exist in different franchises? And the answer is yes and no. Warner Brothers recently rechristened their DC Extended Universe into the DC Extended Multiverse, meaning that everything you ever watched or read from DC, including the Joker, Dark Knight, the CW shows, all of that is part of a series of infinite Earths. You'll even remember that two Flashes, Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin, actually met in the CW TV event Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I like your outfit. It seems comfy.
And actually that remark is a neat Easter egg to this movie, where we see that the DCEU Barry has indeed copied the classic Flash symbol from the show. Now, we don't know if that Ezra Miller Flash was from the same universe that we see in this movie. If it is, then maybe this experience gave him the idea to travel around to different multiverses in the first place. Now back to the trailer, and this extremely thick fog, another trademark of the Tim Burton films. There's a couple of small Easter eggs right here. The license plate reads 82OA. Now, OA could be a reference to the homeworld of the Guardians of the Universe, who lead the Green Lantern Corps. And I think that 82 is referencing the Flash number 309, released in 1982, where Barry travels back in time to witness his own origin. And Nerds Engage on Twitter points out that the cab number is 163, the issue where Barry first meets his arch nemesis, the Reverse Flash. If you're familiar with the Flash TV show, then you might already know this, but the Reverse Flash is a speedster from the future named Eobard Thawne. He traveled back to Barry's childhood to kill young Barry Allen, but instead killed his mother, Nora. In the 2011 comic event Flashpoint, Barry decides to travel back in time to save his mom. Now he does this, but he changes the entire DC universe. This launched a complete reboot of the books called New 52, which was later walked back with the DC Rebirth storyline. So what does all this matter for the movies? Well, the DCEU is kind of a mess. The Justice League was a complete butchering of Zack Snyder's vision and an abrupt tonal shift. Other movies like Shazam or Aquaman didn't seem to fit within that tonal, grim, dark framework that Snyder had built. Now, unlike the Marvel films, which all feel like they take place in the same universe, the recent DC films don't feel unified. But now, this movie, The Flash, offers the studio a chance to streamline and do a soft reboot of these characters, keeping what works and what the fans want to see. It also means that stories like Zack Snyder's Justice League are not dead, they just exist in another universe. So let's move on.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere you want, right?
And this gave me all the goosebumps. That is Denny Elfman's original Batman score and the voice of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne.
Any timeline, any universe.
So we're seeing the inside of stately Wayne Manor as it appeared in the Burton films. So cool. And by the way, everyone, you now have to refer to me as Lord Ryan Airy.
Did you join the Sith?
No, it's actually because I purchased 1 square foot of land in Scotland, which, according to historic Scottish custom, entitles me to the title of Lord or Lady. Now, I acquired this land through established titles, the sponsor of this video. But this isn't just a novelty, it actually helps the environment. With every single order, they plant a tree all over the world through their global charity partners One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future. Now, the land you buy is on a private nature reserve in Dunfermline, which ensures the preservation of the Scottish woodlands and their biodiversity. You get a certificate, an official crest, and a unique plot number so you can see the exact location of your land. Then, you will be allowed to officially change your name to Lord or Lady, and you can even have this on your credit cards or plane tickets. It also makes for a terrific last-minute gift. I mean, just look at some of these reactions.
Lord Kenneth Delane Albert.
All right, hey, look at that. You will be calling me Lord! Lord Joe Green. Yes!
So if you're looking to class up your title and help the environment, click the link in the description and enter our discount code for a 10% discount. And they're also having a massive Halloween sale up to 80% off. Perfect to start buying gifts for the holidays. Back to the Easter eggs. But notice that everything is covered up in draperies, like it's been a while since Bruce was out in the world. In his old age, he's become a recluse, more like the scraggly old man we saw in the Batman Beyond animated show and in the comic book Dark Knight Returns. And then we see Barry in his street clothes throwing a power switch in the Batcave. Now, even for the Batcave, this is a lot of cobwebs. Now, this is again implying that in his old age, Bruce Wayne has been forced to give up the fight against crime, and no one has used this cave in a very long time. But I love these retro designs, like something out of Frankenstein. This is completely a switch that Tim Burton would have designed and placed in his Batman films. Now, this lightning bolt transitions us away from the Denny Elfman score and into the score of The Flash. Notice how the lightning in the cave also becomes the lightning of the Speed Force, as this person ends up outside of Barry's boyhood home. Remember, in Justice League, Barry goes to see his dad in prison because the police think that he killed Barry's mom. But it's interesting that this house number is 12 and not 20 like it is in the TV show. We have a theory that this is referencing The Flash Volume 12, where a young Barry goes on a hero's journey and meets another version of himself, like we see in this trailer. Now, you probably noticed that we do see two Ezra Millers and two Flashes in this trailer wearing two very different suits. We have a theory on that and the movie's secret villain. So we see this person in the electric Flash suit outside of the house. But are we sure this is Barry Allen? Hollow Man on Reddit theorized that this could in fact be the reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, arriving to kill little Barry. And I agree. If that's the case, then this other Flash in the Batcave could also be Eobard Thawne, pretending to be Barry from this other dimension to earn his trust. In the comic, Thawne had plastic surgery to look like Barry. And in the TV show, spoiler alert, he disguised himself as Barry's mentor, Harrison Wells. Or this could actually be a Barry from another universe. So The Flash was actually the first comic book to introduce the multiverse in the classic crossover Flash of Two Worlds. This established that the DC Golden Age heroes lived on another parallel Earth, and opened up a whole new world of stories for comic book creators. And now we can see filmmakers taking advantage of these same ideas. So then we see this house at night, presumably the night that Nora was killed. Then we flash to the same house in the daytime as Barry approaches his now alive mother. In the Flashpoint comics, finding his mother alive was the moment when Barry realized the reality had changed. But by saving his mom, Barry has rewritten history and fractured the fabric of space-time. As we'll see in a bit, it's likely that he has endangered his own universe's future, past, and other universes as well. Bruce Wayne says to him, "You can travel to any time, any universe."
Why do you want to stay and fight to save this one?
And the answer is because Barry likely fractured space-time and has threatened other universes, including the one where this Supergirl comes from and the one with Michael Keaton's Batman. There have actually been two hints in the movies that Barry has this power. The first was in Batman vs. Superman, when Barry uses the cosmic treadmill to warn Bruce Wayne about Superman.
She's the king!
Now, all of this was supposed to be explored more in the Justice League sequels, which we actually explained fully in this video. And then, in Zack Snyder's Justice League, when Barry is running faster than he ever has before, it seems like for a moment that he has stepped out of space and time itself, like he has become one with the Speed Force, the mystical energy field that gives him his powers. So maybe this experience, along with meeting himself from another reality, makes him wonder, gee, if I ran really fast, could I enter another universe? So my theory is that in this movie, he gives it a shot. And then we start to see the repercussions of what Barry has done. We see his hand, judging by the sleeve he's wearing here. It's the same jacket that he was wearing when he throws the bat switch. And he reaches out for the hand of someone who has collapsed onto a rock in the Batcave. This is when we hear,
You changed the future. And you changed the past.
Now this is followed by a shot of Michael Keaton's Batman mask, a trail of blood, and the Batsuit laying in the distance. You can see the symbol right here. So let me throw out a theory. Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne and Ezra Miller are testing Barry's abilities. They work out a way for him to travel between dimensions. So Barry travels to another universe, and he meets other DC characters, and the whole thing is a lot of fun. But the journey destroys his suit, and he doesn't have the technology to bring himself back to his own dimension. So he meets his other self, this Barry Allen, the one in the slick suit with the electric lines inside of it. Barry is like, "I need a scientist," and then the conversation plays out like this.
Batman?
No, he's a scientist.
Batman's a scientist.
So the two of them go to meet this universe's Bruce Wayne. He's like, "Hey, I got my old suit, let's just augment it for you." As Spooky John on Twitter pointed out, this Flash is actually wearing the Keaton Batsuit, and these boots are the same boots that Michael Keaton wears in Batman 89. And then Keaton Bruce uses his science tech to augment the new suit to help Barry get home, but instead this sends Barry into the past where he saves his mom's life and creates Flashpoint. So these shots of Barry coming into a dilapidated cave and holding the hand of a maybe dying Bruce Wayne, these shots are after Barry has screwed up the multiverse. So this shot is interesting, of Electric Suit Barry looking at an arm. I think this could be in the Batcave, and he's looking at the old Michael Keaton suit. This would be just before they change the suit so Barry can wear it to travel throughout the multiverse. Now later we see that the Batcave has a waterfall, which was not in the Burton films at all. This is an homage to the Batcave of the Christopher Nolan films. So this could mean that these universes are already amalgamated, or that the universes are starting to press together and combine. This actually happened in the DC crossover comic book Crisis on Infinite Earths back in 1985. Then we see someone holding up the classic Flash ring. In the comics, this is where he stores his uniform. I think this is the Flash in this alternate universe, showing Barry where he stores his costume. Then we get this sweet reveal of the new Flash suit with these electric lines. But this is also the same Flash suit that we see here. And remember, we think that this guy in the back is our Barry, and this one in the middle is actually an imposter, Eobard Thawne. So this movie might see Barry eventually defeating Thawne and taking his suit, which would be from the future, and then adopting it as his new uniform. And then this happens. The return of Michael Keaton Batman. Probably. Notice that he's looking out at the cave entrance at what looks like a fully functional Batcave. So this would probably be from Barry's first visit, when everything is still going along just fine for Batman in this reality, before Barry screws the whole thing up with Flashpoint. And there's another classic Batman character from Batman Forever right here. This is your mom. The trailer ends with this.
Are you in?
And then we see two Barrys and Sasha Calle as a version of Supergirl. Maybe from this reality, or maybe Barry has inadvertently stranded multiple heroes outside of their own universes, like the multiple Spider heroes and Spider-Verse. The trailer makes it seem as if they're asking Michael Keaton if he wants to be involved in their little caper, and gosh, I hope he is. I'm so happy about this trailer. And there's even Easter eggs in the final logo. The red around the symbol forms a maze. Like this is a great multiversal maze that Barry has created for himself to navigate. All these branching timelines banging into each other. But there's one question that I just can't answer. What in the hell was Ezra Miller wearing around his neck?
I will see you in theaters later next year, or more importantly, you will see me.
Well, that's all the Easter eggs that I found, but if you found any, let me know in the comments below or at me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe and ring that bell. For Screen Crush, I'm Ryan Airy.